Bears began growling at each other. One clawed the ground lightly, like a boxer ready to throw the first punch. The other rolled its shoulders, loosening up as if warming up his muscles. The other rolled its shoulders, loosening up as if warms right now. Fighting over a strawberry and a little pride. How embarrassing. The two bears froze in shock, which ended in a nuclear winter deadlock. The two black bears agreed to settle their differences in a more dramatic location, the dense forest behind the mountain, a place where no one could hear their roars, and where they could truly prove who was the mightiest. It was the perfect stage for a final showdown. On the day of their big rematch, the atmosphere was thick with tension. The two bears eyed each other from opposite ends of the clearing, near the forest's edge. "Hey, Black Bear, you remember our little rendezvous today, right?" One of the bears called out, his voice dripping with taunting confidence. "I thought you'd be too scared to show up. I was ready to start without you. But then I figured, nah, this'll be way more fun when you show up, if you can even make it." The other bear, looking at him with a fierce glint in his eyes, grunted in response, "Shut up, you little brat. The only reason you're still alive after that meadow fight is because I hadn't eaten in a week. I was too weak. But today, oh, today is your day to lose, buddy. I'm well fed and ready to make you regret this little challenge." The first bear smirked, puffing his chest. "Huh, who's scared of you? If you've got the guts, then bring it on. I'll show you why. I'm the one who should be feared around here." With that, both bears lunged at each other with a force that could shake the earth beneath them. They collided with a roar, their massive paws slamming against each other, each bear trying to overpower the other. Their growls echoed through the forest as they tussled, their powerful bodies crashing against the ground, sending leaves and dirt flying into the air. You, one of the bears yelled, throwing his opponent off balance. "Do you even know who you're messing with? Haha. You're trying to take my girl and steal my honey. I love you. Trying to play in the big leagues. Ha ha ha. Oh, I know exactly who you are. And today's the day you finally meet your match. Ha ha. And I'm going to take everything you've got, including your pride." The two bears fought relentlessly, their bodies covered in scratches and bruises, but neither could land a decisive blow. The forest around them shook as they thrashed and rolled, each trying to get the upper hand, but always ending in a stalemate. Finally, both bears, exhausted and panting, paused for a moment, each one trying to catch his breath. Not bad at all," one bear said with a grin, wiping blood from his muzzle. "You've definitely got some moves I didn't expect. I'll give you that." The other bear nodded, his breath still heavy. "Yeah, you're a tough one to beat. I thought I'd have you by now. But you keep surprising me. But you know, I was just getting started. You better hope you don't get tired before me." The two locked eyes, but it was clear they were both beginning to tire. Their once fiery aggression had slowed down, replaced by a grudging respect for each other's strength and endurance. They weren't finished fighting, but they were smart enough to realize they'd reached a point where neither could win, without costing them more energy than they had left. "All right, enough," one bear finally said, raising a paw in truce. "I think we both proved our point. You're strong, I'm strong. But I'm starving. Let's take a break from all this fighting. Yeah, I know a perfect spot for honey." The other bear paused, looking at him with narrowed eyes. Then, after a moment of silence, he nodded. "Oh fuck. But don't think I've forgotten about this. I'm coming for that honey, and I'll be the one to get the last laugh." The two bears, who had moments earlier been locked in a fierce battle for dominance, now turned and walked off together toward the nearby honey tree. As they trudged along, their stomach growling louder than their previous roars, they exchanged a few grumbling comments. "You know," the first bear said with a smirk, "if you'd been this good at getting honey as you are at fighting, you'd be the richest bear in the forest." The second bear snorted, rolling his eyes. "I don't need your sarcasm, buddy. Let's just get to the honey before I decide I want to fight you again." And so, with their bellies empty and their pride bruised, But intact, the two bears made their way to the honey tree. The earlier tension between them had dissolved into a strange, unspoken camaraderie. After all, nothing brings rivals together like the lure of sweet, golden honey and maybe a little bit of mutual respect. But deep down, both bears knew this wasn't the end. Their rivalry was far from over. There would always be the next challenge, the next showdown, and the next chance to prove who the true king of the forest was. But for today, they'd settle for honey and a truce until the next fight.